yes, this is a bike video, even though I'm in a car. Let me explain. I am on my way to motorcycle training to ride a Yamaha MT07. And because the MT07 is so different to my YZF R125, I chose not to ride my bike to bike training. And my journey to motorcycle training really started back in 2018. I had just picked up my YZF R125, which was an interesting experience because I picked it up in my Peugeot 807, and it was a wonderful journey. I had the bike in the back, strapped down with ratchet straps like all over the place, and he didn't move an inch, but he did sit right between my shoulders all the way back. Like he was like a passenger who sits in the back and doesn't sit left or right. They sit in the middle because they want to see where they're going. They're like a child, you know, want to see where they're going. And Rafiki was just sat there, wasn't he? And he was right. I guess he was teaching me to do lifesavers before I'd even got out on the bike. So we got him back, unloaded him, got him into the garage, and once he was in the garage, it was at that point that I contacted a local driving school. And I'd seen this driving school, this motorcycle training school, at the BMAD bike festival that they used to hold in Paynton. So I contacted them, arranged my CBT, and on the day, drove Lexi over there. And after the initial meet and greet, we did a little bit of, you know, safety stuff on helmets, etc. And then we headed up to what they call the pad. That's where they let you ride the bike around, get a feel for it. You know, they teach you slow bike control, U-turns, figure of eights, and an emergency stop. Because of course they need to make sure that you're safe out on the road and that you can do an emergency stop if you need to. And then we had lunch, because that took a few hours. Then we had lunch, and then after lunch we headed out for my first ride on the road, albeit with an instructor. And that was lovely, it was amazing. Anyone who's been on this similar journey will know what it feels like to finally get out on the road on a bike. And for me, we drove through a village that I used to live in, and that was nostalgic. Yes, it was nice to ride through that village. And we ended up riding the road from Newton to Teignmouth, which has become one of my favourite roads to ride. And my plan after CBT was ride for 12 months, maybe 2 years, and then go in for my test. And after 12 months I realised right now you probably can't see me because that sun is so bright behind me, but I'll take it. So anyway, after 12 months I realised I'd only put about 800 miles on the bike, something like that. And so I decided I'm going to stick with my 125 for a bit longer, and I'll do my test the following year. Of course, the following year was 2020 and the world got COVID, everything got shut down, everything got cancelled, couldn't get a bike test. My CBT lapsed and I didn't ride for 12 months. Fast forward to 2021 and I decided let's get back on the road. So I did some work to the bike, changed his front brake pads, rear brake pads. His tail light randomly stopped working for some reason, so I changed that. Checked the brake fluid to find that it had turned to jelly, some jelly-like nasty substance. So I ended up rebuilding the master cylinder because I changed the fluid and I bled it, but it wouldn't work. So the seals were gone. rebuilt the master cylinder. Front fork seals were then leaking, so I had to change them. But finally got the bike ready for his MOT. And contacted my driving school. And whilst I was doing all this work, I'd done my theory test as well, because I wanted to do my bike test. Contacted the bike training school again, only to find out there was a huge backlog on tests. Couldn't get a test for about 6 months. And my heart sank, because I'd done all this work and I was ready to get back out there. I hadn't ridden for 12 months. My heart sank. And then the guy at the training school said, look, to do your test, you're going to have to redo your CVT anyway. I can get you in for that within a month. So I did that. I went and did my CVT. And then I was able to get my bike MOT'd and get back out there, which was amazing. You know, it wasn't the full test that I'd hoped to do. But as far as consolations go, I couldn't do my test, but I could ride my bike. That's a pretty good consolation, that is. And after that CVT, the plan was to do my test as soon as possible. And then I got this wonderful idea to start a YouTube channel, which has been amazing, by the way. I don't regret it, but it has taken up a lot of my time. And so the rest of 2021 and most of 2022 actually, my time was taken up with YouTube. And I would like to have squeezed my test in at the tail end of last year, but I couldn't, unfortunately. It's now 2023, it's January, and it's time for motorcycle training. In fact, it's time for my test. You see, this is Thursday, and I've been out on the MT07 Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. And today's the day. Today's the day we go get that Mod 1 and Mod 2 done.